Hello everyone. Hope all of you will be fine. The best of your health. We are starting this today's live webinar, which has been conducted on the particular topic that how we can uh, secure a fully funded scholarships in abroad universities. And this is a very important issue because many students are struggling in this particular regard. They personally believe that they can't find the good opportunity, and the opportunities are getting limited and limited each and every day. So we have to make sure that there is a path, there is a certain way through which you could be ready to secure fully funded scholarships, either in USA, either in Europe, and many other countries around. And those universities must be high QS ranking universities. So this particular 1 hour will be spent on this. Let me share the slides with you so we can start our entire session on there. So, as I have already mentioned, the topic of today's webinar, which is how to secure admissions in foreign university for MPhil and PhD on scholarship. And this is a step-by-step guide which will be presented in front of you. Why we are an appropriate voice for this particular topic? Because we have many students in securing such scholarships in the past 4 to 5 years, and we help them in hunting supervisors, hunting universities, writing out their SOPs and their research proposals, and then we have sent them to those particular universities. Definitely their consultants who has helped them for the visa immigration process also help them, but from the research perspective, we have set a guideline which has helped them to secure those kind of scholarships. So this is why WriteAtSpot is a good voice for you to understand all these basic things. We are operating in this domain since 2015. We have helped approximately 6,000 MPhil and graduates, and we have also assisted 350 plus PhD scholars who has completed their dissertations, who have completed their doctorate, and now serving in different faculty positions. In WriteAtSpot, we have 32 plus team members who are helping in managing this stuff, writing and analysis of all the data which we have here for our clients. So this is why WriteAtSpot is an important voice for this particular topic. This is my personal portfolio. I'm Usman Tariq Bhatti, founder of ResearchTutor.com and WriteAtSpot, and part of adjunct faculties of different universities. I'm also an industrial advisor on different home appliances and electrical firm, and also have a strong research portfolio, which includes 40 plus publications in different impact factor and Scopus Index journals. So without wasting any time, we will jump into our main topic. And first of all, the thing which we are going to discuss is the scholarship misconception. The biggest dilemma which we are facing around in securing fully funded scholarships in abroad, and especially in QS ranking universities, good QS ranking universities, there are three major misconceptions. The first misconception is unrealistic eligibility criteria misconception. Many students believe if they have not secured a very, very high CGPA, they might be not a good candidate for those fully funded scholarships. This is a wrong myth, because this is a myth and it is not factual. Because if you have a decent CGPA, like 3.5 or 3.7, you could still be a very good candidate for a fully funded scholarship. Even I have seen in my professional experience that the students who have CGPA around 3.2, 3.3, they have secured such scholarships in which tuition fees were totally, you can say, disbursed, and they were not there to pay for them. And so first of all, remove this myth from your mind that if you have a relatively low CGPA like 3.5 or 3.7 or 3.3, then you can't apply for these fully funded scholarships. This is not right. You can still apply for these fully funded scholarships because many factors play their part in achieving those MPhil and PhD scholarships in abroad, not just your CGPA. Yes, CGPA matters. CGPA is important because you are going to be compete with many other candidates who might have a very high CGPA. In Pakistan, we have a dilemma where some universities give grades like water. So you could end up getting 4 out of 4 CGPA. Even you get 3.9 CGPA, 3.8 CGPA. So CGPAs are very much higher in some universities, which could make a competition a little bit tough. But that is not the only factor which could play its part. So you have to stay confident, even if you have a relatively low GGPA, that you could still be a good candidate. The second important thing, The second misconception is scholarship non-availability misconception. Many people are in Pakistan or in other countries, developing countries, believe that there might not be scholarships available in those good universities. The universities which are ranked in like US 50 ranking universities, or which in fall in 50 to 100 top ranked universities in QS ranking, or any other good ranking platform. So this is also a misconception. There are a lot of scholarships available. There are a lot of fundings are available, and you can say many of those fundings and many of those scholarships went idle while staying in the government pocket or while staying in the private universities pocket, because many people don't believe that they exist, so they do not apply for those particular scholarships. So I always say to my clients that you must get to a good consultant, because consultants have access of these kind of scholarships. They have detailed information, and without spending thousands of dollars on tuition fees, if you will spend a little extra amount on your consultant, a good consultant can guide you towards those particular scholarships, and you can avail them at a very reasonable cost. So scholarships are available, so remove this misconception from your mind that scholarships are not available in good QS ranked universities. Then the third important misconception which is there is readiness misconception. What is readiness misconception? Many of us believe that we are ready to apply for a very good fully funded PhD or fully funded MPhil in a very good European or a country, or you can say in USA or in Australia, but that is not right. We do not have worked on our research portfolio. It means that we do not have good publications in our CV. Some students believe many universities have not mentioned at all that publications are necessary. You are absolutely right. Universities have never explicitly stated that in your CV there have to be publications to be considered as a good candidate. But when you will be competing with hundred or thousands different candidates, obviously those particular students or those particular candidates will stand out, who will have a good research portfolio, who will have publications in impact factor journals, who will have publications in Scopus Index journals. They could go towards in more speed than you because they have a good research portfolio. So the research portfolio is one important thing. There are other important things which are concerned with the readiness. For example, many of the students forget to give their GRE test or GMAT test or HAT test on time, and whenever the scholarships come open, they will get remember, okay, we can't apply because we have not cleared these tests at all. These are the basic mandatory tests to get through the foreign scholarships or fully funded scholarships, because your GRE score or your GMAT scores will matter a lot. So this dilemma that we think that we are ready to apply for these kind of scholarships is wrong. We have to carefully understand that what are the requirements or what are the prerequisites to apply for such kind of scholarships. So whenever the opportunity will come up, we must not be stay idle, and we can apply for those scholarships. So in this particular webinar, we will discuss all those things which are prerequisites along all other things of the content of this webinar, so you can totally understand that what is required to get ready to avail a fully funded MPhil or PhD scholarship in good QS ranked university. So we have talked about these three misconceptions: eligibility criteria misconception, non-availability scholarship misconception, and readiness misconception. Let's move forward. So, as I have previously said, there are some prerequisites for MPhil and PhD scholarships, and especially when you are hunting for fully funded scholarships. So, we have enlisted them for you here, and so we will discuss one by one all these prerequisites so you can understand completely. The first one is language proficiency test. As we all know that whenever we want to move in abroad in any European country, in USA state, or you can say in Australia, there is some good band required from the IELTS, PTE, TOEFL, or any other good language test score. Because without getting this good language test score, we couldn't go in that particular country, or we couldn't apply for, you can say, even for visa, immigration, etc., for the student visa. These scores are necessary. Although there are some exceptions, some universities or some countries are not requiring these kind of test scores, but still almost 95% of countries and universities are requiring these scores from the non-English countries, because this is the English proficiency test and you have to score good in it. So whenever you have to see that what is your plan of going in which intake, which year you want to go for your scholarship. So be ready in advance that when you will go for your IELTS test or your PTE test or your TOEFL test, because it has an expiry date, it will stay valid for a certain time. So give it in advance. Don't put everything on the end and you will be get suffocated with all the requirements. So do those things in advance which could be done in advance. So give your IELTS test or any English proficiency test in advance, score good band, but don't go for those tests without preparation, because these tests now cost around 60,000 or 70,000 rupees in Pakistan, and that also not include the preparation cost. So whenever you go for these kind of tests, go with full preparation so you can secure good band in it, good score in it, and that can surely help you to avail a fully funded scholarship. The second important prerequisite land in a good QS rank university is having a good portfolio. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, the research culture is not many universities, while pursuing MPhil for different students, they don't focus on the publications. While in abroad, many universities have tied the process of MPhil or masters with the publications, and they have made it mandatory for the students that they must publish good papers within their MPhil or masters program. So that is very much necessary. So if you have not good publications in X category journals or Scopus Index journals or the most important impact factor journals, then it is a time to invest on those publications. If you will have 2 or 3 publications on your portfolio related to your area of interest and related to the area of interest in which you want to pursue your PhD later on, this will be very much helpful for you to secure and land fully funded scholarship, because that supervisor, that university could see, okay, this student has a good research acumen. Definitely, when he or she will land in our country or land in our university or land in our research program, and this student will be low risk, highly output productive student who could help us in complete all the research projects around, and that could only see with your proficiency through the publication. So if you don't have publications, this is time to start your work on your research publications, because without it, it will be very much hard to secure fully funded scholarships. The third important prerequisite is a strong statement of purpose, or you can say personal statement, or you can say motivation letter. This is also one of the most important document which is required when you will apply for funded MPhil or PhD scholarships, because statement of purpose or motivation letter set your tone, keep you stand out among 1,000 of different candidates, and this document helps you to narrate your own story. The biggest mistake which students commit in this particular regard, they often just describe their CV in their statement of purpose. They do not relate it with their life story. They do not relate it with their future goals. They do not relate it with the essential elements in the country which they want to go. So writing a statement of purpose is an art. Writing a motivation letter is an art. It has to be just around 400, 500 words, but those 500 words must reflect your acumen, must reflect your story, must reflect your motivation to join that particular PhD or MPhil program, and especially on fully funded basis and with area of interest in which you want to pursue research. So this particular statement is very much important. Along with this, if you are applying for a PhD, then you must have a good solid research proposal. At this particular level, many supervisors or many universities do not ask explicitly for research proposal, especially when you are hunting supervisors directly. But having a good research proposal on your hand, which just have a length around 1,500 to 2,000 words, enlisting the problem statement which you want to resolve, enlisting the gaps which your research will going to be filled, and enlisting the objectives and methodology which you will use in your research. This short glimpse can give your supervisor confidence that you are a serious candidate. If you will simply type a cold email and will just show your interest in 2 to 3 lines, which will surely be good, but at the end of the day, you can't pose your seriousness through that particular 3 to 4 lines. It is very much good if you have an attachment in that email which you will send to your supervisor, and there is an attachment named as proposed research or research proposal, in which you have briefly mentioned that what you want to do research. So statement of purpose and that research proposal is very much important to secure those fully funded scholarships. Coming towards the next thing, Whenever students ensure or take admissions in foreign universities for MPhil and PhD, they rush towards their old institutions to get letter of recommendations, or you can say reference letters from their old teachers, which has definitely taught them different courses at university, graduation, and master's level. The problem is that why you can't do it in a good or systematic way and well before the time, because it is a very much important and most needed thing when you are going to apply for a particular university. So getting good letters of recommendations and original letters, letter of recommendation which will be a pre-planted and pre-written or AI generated letter of recommendation, a letter of recommendation which could highlight your strengths as well as your weaknesses, could give a good impact to the person who will read them. He or she will get to know that okay, the person who is coming under my supervision has what kind of personality traits. So getting good letter of recommendation is also very much important when you are going to hunt for fully funded MPhil and PhD scholarships. The last thing in prerequisites is different tests. As we all know, when we are in Pakistan and we are going to apply for PhD, then we have to clear the GAT test, a GAT general or GAT special subject test, whichever is recommendation or the demand of the university. So when we are applying on international level, then there are certain tests which are needed for those particular universities, just like Greek, GMAT, or HAT test. So these particular tests are very much important when you are applying for European or US countries or any good developed nation wherever you want to go for fully funded MPhil and PhD scholarships. So do understand that what kind of test will be needed for your admission in those particular countries, and then prepare in advance, give that test in advance, and use good scores to apply for your scholarship. Because if you will not be ready for that particular test, and if you will leave it for the 11th hour, then ultimately one more thing will be added as a liability on your shoulder, and you have to complete it in rush, and definitely will not be able to score good if you have not prepared well for those tests. So these are some basic prerequisites which are must to apply for fully funded MPhil and PhD scholarships in any developed nation or in any good nation or a university which has good QS ranking. Coming forward with our webinar, what are the pathways toward fully funded MPhil and PhD scholarships? So there are basically two kind of pathways are there. First pathways are government funded scholarships, and the second one is university direct scholarship. As far as government funded scholarships are concerned, HEC often on their website and on their different pages advertise different kind of scholarships. Those scholarships basically come with the coordination of different governments, the government to government agreements, where they land or give some specific positions or give some specific seats to Pakistani students. And for those particular scholarships, HEC become the center hub. So those scholarships are basically government funded scholarships. Many students or many faculty members have been sent by HEC for scholarships in abroad, so they can come and study on the HEC expense, and when they will come back, they will be acting as a good faculty members. So of USA is also a very good example of government funded scholarship, where the bestest of the best students go in America and complete their doctorate or their master's program to complete stipend, full tuition fee waiver, each and every kind of facility. So those are fully funded scholarships. Coming towards the next category which is there, that is university direct scholarships. So many universities ask students or advertise that students have to directly apply to university rather than to go from their government, or rather than to move through the HEC. They could directly apply to the university for the scholarship, for the admission, and if they will secure it, then the process will continue. So in this particular case, governments are not interacted directly. Universities have advertised those particular scholarships on their own because they have a list of donors who is helping them to give that kind of funding which they could disperse in the form of scholarships. So those are called university direct scholarships. These university direct scholarships come under two categories. So some are in the research assistant program, or some are in research graduates programs. When you are there doing your PhD, you will be doing some kind of work on the university behalf too, either as a research assistant or either as a junior staff member too. So in fully funded MPhil and PhD scholarships, these are the two pathways which you have to understand. Obviously, the government funded scholarships opportunities are limited, while university direct scholarships are infinite, abundance you can't even imagine. We will surely see in further slides that how we can secure or how we can locate those university direct scholarships in a systematic or in a better way. Before I will move towards the next slide, Many of us process. This is a process which will take days, which will take nights, which will months. Obviously, finding a good PhD, fully funded PhD or fully funded program is a full-time job. Companies like us, WriteAtSpot or researchtutor.com, we have special staff to locate those universities which are offering scholarships. We have a special staff to talk with have who will be supervising the students in the next intake. So finding or hunting them is not an easy thing, but it is not that much difficult thing that a good, or you can say a responsible student cannot do on its own. So what we have to do, we have to find those MPhil and PhD scholarships, and there is a way. There are some proper websites, proper portals which have enlisted almost each and every scholarship available out there for the help of the students, and those scholarships can definitely help them, a lot of students who want to go in the next intake. Let's take a look towards those portals and sites. So most famous one is findaphd.com. Findaphd.com, and for the masters, same website will be covered, findamasters.com. So what is that? This particular portal or this particular website has enlisted approximately thousands and thousands of PhD positions available or MPhil positions available in case of findamasters.com. You just have to go there. You have to use your subject area. You have to use some filters. What kind of scholarship you are expecting? Either you are expecting fully funded, either you are expecting fully funded along with stipend, either you are expecting fully funded along with stipend and along with the airfare. So there are a lot of filters there on those particular portals and on those particular tools, which has categorized scholarships for the developing countries even, in which Pakistan will definitely fall. So you have to see that what kind of scholarship is best suited to you. So without hassling in all universities websites, these are some important platforms just like findaphd.com, scholar for development, scholar for dev.com, scholarshipportal.com. These particular portals, these particular websites are there. Just open them, see the filters out there, put the filters on that what kind of scholarship you're looking for, which subject area you are hunting, and the list will come in front of you, and you will be in a better position to decide at which university is more suitable for you. So without hassling in all university websites, these portals can help you a lot. And these are the private portals. These have no connection with specific governments or specific, you can say, bilateral agreements of the governments. They enlist all kind of scholarships, including the government scholarships. A small screenshot is also given from the Find PhD. We are not sponsoring their work basically, but we are just giving you a glimpse that how you can find 4,873 PhD projects and programs worldwide right now in that particular website. And definitely Scholar for Development, scholarshipportal.com might have other good programs as well. So the point is, go to these portals, put the filters on, and search the best program for yourself, and without wasting any time. Coming towards the next slide, here we have mentioned some major government and regional portals, and these major government and regional portals included Dart Scholarship, Your Access, UK British Council, and Campus France. These are the world-wide renowned programs which are there available for developing nations. Countries like Pakistan or Pakistani students can also apply for them, because again these are government-funded portals, and government has already interaction with them, and many countries students can apply for these scholarships. So now they are not private portals, they are the government funded sites, and these can even give you a better results regarding the scholarships as well. So finding out in these particular scholarships can also help you to find good regional portals and good regional scholarships of the area of your own choice. Then there are some specialized and niche portals. For example, AGC itself has scholarship portal Pakistan, where you can find out the government funded scholarships and the opportunities available for MPhil and PhD fully funded scholarships, and you can surely visit them. And then their research gate jobs is also there, where different faculty positions or PhD positions have also been advertised. So the point is the thing which we are thinking that very much complicated, it is not that much complicated. Going to those portals, putting some keywords, and then applying some filters can give you the exact detailed results which you are looking for. And then you don't need to go to the websites individually. First see out, check out good enough or not. So let me get it back. resuming the session right now with a better voice quality. You can listen it well. So let me go there and start it again. So we were here where we were talking about hunting a supervisor basically. So when we are talking about hunting a supervisor, so universities do not want you to approach them directly. They want you to go towards a supervisor which is there in the faculty and which will supervise for you in PhD later on. In this particular thing, supervisor's area of interest matters a lot. So let's say you have searched through a portal and you have reached to an ABC university. Let's say you have reached a Western Australia university. And in Western Australia University, Western Sydney University, you will go to their business department faculty and you will see that there are three doctors teaching there. And definitely they will be your supervisors later on when you will go there for PhD profile. So what you will do now? You will study the Google Scholars profile of these particular professors, which were there working as a doctors, and they will be your future supervisor in PhD programs. So what you will do? You will go to their research work, see what is their area of interest. You will see, okay, if one student, one person who was working in marketing, he is totally interested in AI and marketing interaction. He's totally interested at how AI is reshaping the marketing initiatives. He's totally interested at how AI is generating consumer awareness, etc., etc. So you come to know, okay, this particular professor is interested in AI and marketing interaction. Now, if you want to apply through that particular supervisor, you have to shape your research area according to his or her area of interest. And how that will be possible? That will become possible when you will read his latest publications, his or her latest publications. Because if we will simply say, okay, I am this and this, I have read your work, that was a phenomenal work, I also have this particular idea, so that supervisor will quickly know that you are bluffing. You even didn't bother to read his or her work. So what is the technique here? Once you have shortlisted a university and once you have gone to the faculty profile of that university, once you have found out those three professors who are working as a doctors or as a research assistant, associate professors or as a professors in those universities, and those will be your potential supervisors in PhD, study their work, study their one or two papers, and then point out some very specific thing. Okay, don't say that I have read your certain work and that was really impressive. Say that I have read your certain paper, and in that particular paper in methodology section you have mentioned this particular line, and that was really captivating and integrated with my research idea. Now that particular supervisor will acknowledge your effort, will acknowledge your interest, and will take you as a serious candidate. And before that, he or she will definitely not take you as a serious candidate. So when you are hunting for a supervisor, it is very much important that you do read or do study their work. And without studying their work, it will be impossible for you to find out the relevant research gap and propose your own research idea. So hunting a supervisor needs you to specify a university, then go to the faculty profile of that particular university, then find out that which doctors or which associate professors or professors are working in that particular faculty. Do read their research profile either by going to their just type their name on Google Scholar, just type their name on Google, and a lot of data will come up regarding the recent publications. Study the titles of those publications and then choose one publication which is related to your area of interest. Then study that particular paper completely and point out few important instances which you could pitch as a hook in front of that supervisor while writing a cold email when you will approach that supervisor through email. So this is how you get the supervisor's area of interest, by going through from his or her research work. This is the only thing which a supervisor could understand. Okay, this student will not be a liability for me because he or she is working in the same line in which I am pursuing my research. Then the second thing is research funding or grants. Okay. When we are talking about research fundings and grants, we easily you can say go towards, we can't directly mention that we need scholarship from you. We have to go from other way around. We have to see that either that particular supervisor has recently secured very good publication, very good funding or research grant or not. If that supervisor has recently got a good funding or a good research grant, then that will be really really helpful, because whenever you will mention that particular research grant which they have recently obtained, then your topic will be aligned to that particular grant. Let's say An ABC professor was there who has recently secured a grant to research on minerals in Pakistani area, or you can say in the mountainous areas of any particular country. Now, if you will align your research work around this particular topic, now that supervisor think that okay, my work will get easy while working on that grant if I will take this person under my supervision. So if the particular faculty member which you have hunted as a supervisor has recently obtained any funding or grant for specific research initiative, then do align your research topic with that research initiative. How you could find out? Just by studying the profile of that particular person, just by studying the LinkedIn profile of that particular supervisor, just by studying the Google Scholar profile of that particular supervisor, because that will give you enough information to know about that particular person. And when you will know about your potential supervisor, you can definitely use it for your own research topic to find out a good gap in the same area, which will definitely be better for you. The third thing is expectation from a potential supervisor. So you can't expect your supervisor to quickly say you, okay, I'm totally on board, I want to take you under my supervision. Okay, you just need him or her to say, okay, I'm looking forward for having some candidates in the next intake, and I have noted your name and your credentials for that. That is more than enough. Many students, when get this kind of response from a supervisor, they believe, okay, my work has not been done, because they think that the right response was that he or she must say at the same time, okay, you have got the scholarship, you have obtained the scholarship, okay, you can work under my supervision. None of this thing could help you within 10 or 15 seconds email, because that is not going to be happen. The best response you can get from that supervisor is the acknowledgement, okay, that you have reached out to me, I'm looking forward for some candidates in this particular intake, and I'm surely going to be there and recommending your name if, and I have noted your name in this particular regard, etc., etc. So hunting a supervisor itself is not a problem. Reaching out to that supervisor is a problem, and that reaching out could be done with the help of an email, which we normally send a cold email towards a supervisor. This is the most important point of today's live webinar, where I will teach you that how you can write a very good cold email to your supervisor for reaching out to him or her for potential fully funded scholarship. So how that email has to be drafted, let's talk about it. So first of all, greeting, dear professor, and last name. Not too much buttering at this particular place, because if you will do a lot of buttering and make it too much formal, that will simply give a negative signal. Okay. Then start by a regular salutation and discuss his or her work which has inspired you. Talk about his or her paper which you have recently studied. Talk about that specific portion of the paper which really make you excited, and then pitch your research idea, and then give the reason why that idea in his or her paper was exciting for you, because your research idea also going to be aligned in that particular direction. So this is the first thing you have to do. You have to mention that particular paper which you have read of that supervisor. You have to mention that which particular element of that paper has inspired you, and then you have to mention that why it has inspired you. So this is the first paragraph of that particular email. In the second paragraph, you will talk about the competency which you have in your research. You have talked about that what kind of specific tools or specific software which you have learned in your MPhil research, because in the second paragraph you will talk about your past research portfolio. Still not you have pitched your actual research idea, you just have told him or her that why that particular inspired portion is connected with your idea. Now you will start talking about your past research exposure. If you have a good publication, do mention it, that I have already published my work in XYZ journal on this particular topic, and I have used some, now named some exact tools which you have used, because your supervisor is keen to study about them. Like if you are an environmental science student, then it is very much important you mention R software, Python software, Stata software, or any other relevant mapping softwares which is there. If you are a student of management sciences, do mention M plus, do mention NVivo, do mention Smart PLS, because these softwares will definitely give you opportunity to highlight your skills in a better way. So if you are going to do that, then this is a much better way to do this. So most importantly, writing that mail is the second part, where you mentioned your old work which you are being doing, and that work is considered as one of the best tool to fortify yourself in front of that supervisor. So first paragraph, talk about his or her research. Talk about the specific instance in which he or she has inspired you in that particular paper and why you are connected towards that. In the second part, you have to talk about that what you have done in your MPhil, what publication you have, and what specific tools you have learned in all those years. And those tools can help him to understand that, okay, this is a serious candidate. Now, in the third paragraph, do talk about your research idea, that what research you want to pursue and which important gap it is going to be fulfilled and how his or her supervision can make it possible, because the paper which you have above referred is also almost on the same kind of idea or the continuity of that. So this is a perfect cold email. Do remember that your email must not take 40 to 45 seconds, more than 40 to 45 seconds to read for your potential supervisor. Because if it will take enough time to read that particular email, then it will get boring. So email has to be concise, smart, but covering all these three important things. And remember that if you will cover all these three important things, still you have space to attach some attachments. What attachments are necessary? Attachments could be your CV. The CV could be well drafted on ATS system according to Harvard academic style. In the second important thing which has to be attached in it, it could be your research proposal or synopsis which you have written, which is very smart, 1500 words to 2000 word proposal. If supervisor is interested or want to see you as a serious candidate, he or she can open that particular document to see that in which area you want to conduct research, and the mentioning of those 2 to 3 lines could be further briefed in that particular document of research synopsis. And if some universities have required, you can also attach motivation letter at this particular phase, but not everyone will recommend that. That motivation letter could be sent directly to university at the time of admission service. But these two things are very much essential to attach. One could be your CV, and the second one will be your research proposal. Your supervisor could take you as a serious candidate. So art of writing a cold email is very much important, which I have told you in this part of this particular webinar. Then there are some red flags which you have surely been avoided. Don't talk about fully funded scholarship in that particular email. First, take that supervisor into the confidence that he or she is interested to supervise you based on your research idea. Because if he or she is interested to supervise you based on the research idea, then that is the most important thing. Then that is the most important, you can say, objective for you right now. If you will mention fully funded scholarship in front of him or her, that will lose the charisma of the entire debate. You will totally derail him or her in taking you under supervision. Number two, the second most important red flag, when a person is not giving exact details of their work. Like if you will say, okay, I want to pursue in work in AI in marketing, that will simply tells that supervisor that you are not have even worked on your proposed research. So do specific that what you want to do specific in that particular area. So don't go towards the second red flag where you will just narrate your area in a very broad term, and that will totally lose the interest of your potential supervisor. The third red flag, sometimes some students try to be that much lazy that they CC 10 professors in one email and send them a supervision cold email to 10 supervisor at the same time. No, anyone can see that who was mentioned in the CC of an email. And if they will see, okay, this particular person is approaching 10 other supervisor at the same time with same email, so it means that that is not going to work. He or she will not consider you as a serious candidate, and ultimately you will end it up discarded from that program. So these are three most important red flags which you have to avoid while applying for fully funded MPhil and PhD scholarships. Because if you will do this, this will surely help you to write a very good email and to have a very good interaction with your proposed supervisor. So finding out a university through those portals, then hunting or finding out a supervisor by going to university website and in the faculty tab and under that particular department, then studying the area of interest of those particular supervisors by going into their research portfolio, by going into their research papers, then selecting a research paper which is the latest one and which has captivated your interest as well, and going inside that particular paper to find those one or two elements which has astonished you or inspired you. then mentioning the same in your cold email to the supervisor is the art of writing an email which can attract any supervisor around, and you can surely secure fully funded scholarships. Why I have said that, mentioning that you are going to you want that scholarship in that email is not a right thing, because uh, ultimately at the end of the day, most of the PhD positions around good universities are always funded. They don't want money from you, rather they want your research output, rather they want your research inclusion. And they could earn by putting you in the different kind of graduate training programs or teaching programs or research assistant programs that will cover the expenses, but most of those programs are already funded, so don't mention it in that particular email. So in this portion of webinar, I have taught you that how you could write a good cold email to the supervisor to approach for a fully funded scholarship. Now, there is an also important instance, that is a timeline for each and every year whenever you want to apply or you want to go for admissions. So if you are sitting in January, so right now you have to be prepared for GRE test or TOEFL test for different kind of universities, and you might have time till May. Then your scores have to be finalized by June, and then in the next 2 months you have to search out the universities which you want to hunt for. Then in September to October of this particular year, you have to reach out to professors as well. Then in November to December, you have to submit formal applications through the university portals. Then in January to March, you must be ready for different kind of interviews and funding offers or admission offers from those particular universities. And in April, you might go for visa processing next year. So this is a normal route for a USA application, which starts from the January and end on the next April. And in this same time, you can also work on your research publications to make your research portfolio very much attractive. Obviously, the timeline which I have shared with you could be different for different universities or different countries even. If you are trying to go to UK, or if you are trying to go Australia, if you're trying to go in Austria, or if you're trying to go in Germany, they might have a different timeline. But whatever country you want to approach, do see the timeline that when admissions get open, so you have to approach the supervisors well before that. So you have to give the GRE test well before that. So you have to give your English language proficiency test well before that. So you have to plan each and everything according to your schedule. So nothing could be left for the 11th hour, and you can perform in all areas very well. So understanding that schedule is very much important. How WriteAtSpot could help you in this entire journey to find out fully funded MPhil and PhD scholarships. So first of all, the most important thing which we can do for you is the improvising your research portfolio. As we have already mentioned in our different videos too, that we are in the writing services as well. So we could write good Scopus indexed or impact factor journal articles for you, which could make your research portfolio quite enriched. And whenever you will try to go for fully funded MPhil or fully funded PhD programs, those publications will help you a lot. And not just to avail those particular scholarships, these publications go for the life with you, because they will stay in your portfolio. So we could help you in writing that important research papers which could go in your CV. The second thing which could go for you is guiding you or writing some necessary admission documents, just like statement of purpose, which is also known as motivation letter, just like good research proposal after finding out the gap and after finding out your supervisor's interest, uh, just like a good cover letter or improvising your CV. So these admission documents will be handled by us as well, and we could provide you that particular service in securing fully funded MPhil and PhD scholarship. Third, we could also hunt universities and supervisors on your behalf, where we will see that what kind of scholarships are available on the portals, and then we will go into the website of those particular universities. We will find out the faculty members. We will find out the area of interest of those members. We will read the papers of that supervisor, and we will write a very good cold email for them. So in order to do this, we have increased your chances to avail those fully funded MPhil and PhD programs or PhD scholarships. This is how WriteAtSpot helps you in availing this entire situation. And keeping you in loop helps you to understand the entire process. So this webinar is not just about giving you some hypothetical propositions that how you can do this. I have tried to debunk each and everything at a very small level from the prerequisites. So first of all, we have talked about that what are the misconceptions, so you can get the confidence. So number two, we have talked about prerequisites, so you can so you can get be ready for these scholarships. Number three, I have discussed different sources from where you can locate the universities. Number four, we have specifically talked about that how we can hunt a supervisor. And number five, we have talked about writing a cold email. And number six, we have talked about different kind of schedules which could be there in you can say those particular scholarships, etc. So most importantly, we have always tried to help different researchers in availing these fully funded scholarships, and I hope that this session has helped you a lot in understanding that how these things happen, and this will be surely helpful. You can post different questions of your in the research community as well, so I will answer them one by one on your personal number, so you can get that particular information as well. Thank you so much for joining. It will be so nice to interact with you in the group as well. Thank you.